Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. The running game will be a focus.
Thank you, Larry. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. They'll look to throw now on first down. And he's got room. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. Fresh set of downs here. They'll drop the throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Johnson. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Back to the 33. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
While we know that the identity of this offense is to throw the ball, they've got to run it every so often, and for no other reason than to tamp down the pass rush. They can't let them just tee off and get to their quarterback.
And the offense will be looking to get at least some of this yardage back here. It's 2nd and 12. They'll look to throw here. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. They'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. On 2nd down, they'll try and run the counter. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
They allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. Back to throw. That's complete right around the 8. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Field goal forthcoming for Stephen Hauschka from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this will remain a scoreless game. And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, you not got too many attempts shorter than that one. And I don't think this was blocked. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
And out now come the Eagles. First carry now. This is Johnson. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. The numbers a week ago for Johnson. 19 carries, 124 yards.
And when he went over 1,000 yards last week, you know what it did for their offense? It gave them a true identity, because everyone's going to talk about this. The offensive line's going to take pride in it. Of course, the guy carrying the football will. But how about the coaching staff? When they go in and talk contracts, when they talk to reporters, hey, we had a 1,000-yard rusher this year. That means something in today's NFL.
They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on 3rd. Underneath for Johnson. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
So when you saw him dump it off to the back, did you think he was going to pick up the first down there?
Well, I knew one thing. It wasn't his primary target. At least it didn't look like it. Turned out to be the play they needed, though. And it's big because it's the opening drive. So converting that 3rd down, keeping the play, not the play, the drive going.
Yeah, it certainly appeared like his downfield targets were covered. Threw a little dump off to his back, and nice effort picking up the first down, though. And you're right. That opening drive, keep those chains moving.
Johnson running left. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Did you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. You might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Yeah, got him for a loss. Really, really great play defensively. Now back to throw. And this one's incomplete. Third and 11. And some extra depth to the secondary here. They're in the dime. This is brought in by Hardy. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that was impressive by the defense. They just got hit for a big pass play, and instead of rushing out and getting back deep to cover, they played their techniques, saw the run develop, and ran to it and made the play.
Pressure brought in. Falcons get there for the sack. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. So on 4th down, here's a punter, Jeff Locke, to kick it away. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
That's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves?
In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game. And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Well, starting drive number 2 off on the right foot. Completion for the 1st down. Drive 1 is they had to be pretty frustrating because they moved the football. They just didn't get any points out of it.
But warm-up QB, too. Let's bring in the backup. I mean, my goodness, you take them downfield and you don't score points. You know I'm being totally facetious here, right? I'm just kidding. Nice first drive. Rarely do teams score on every single drive in a game, but they like what they did there. They just hope they can pay it off this time with some points.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is knocked down and then landed on pretty awkwardly. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this 1st quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. 0-0 our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. He'll look to throw. Johnson with a completion over the middle. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. And that is incomplete. Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And, you know, their previous possession, they were able to move the football, but still wound up punting in the end.
You know, in 2016, Carolina had a 20-play drive that lasted over 10 minutes. And remember how it ended?
In a punt.
Yeah, I mean, how does that happen? You just don't see that happen every day.
This one maybe not quite that bad, but still, you'd like to have a chance for points if you hold the football that long.
Agreed.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
On the ground, this is Johnson. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
That definitely sets up a much more difficult 3rd down.
Yeah, you figure 2nd and 2, one they thought they could pick up. Now you're facing 3rd and 4.
Yeah, got to give the front 7 a lot of credit for making that play. I'm just starting to wonder, partner, is 2nd and short also a throwing down in the NFL now?
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 48. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
He talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. Now a handoff here to his running back. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
That's complete right around the 8. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. And, Johnson dinged up a bit. Still down. Hopefully nothing serious. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
Here we go.
And he'll give it here to his running back. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop it right around the 1. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. The offense on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and goal. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Give him 2 yards on that play. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. And did it get there? Yes. Boy, he didn't get much of that at all. He tucked it just between the crossbar and the left upright. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. And we were scoreless up until this point in the second quarter. Now we finally have a little action.
Let's see where this action takes us. First quarter, no points at all. Now we got our first score of the game. Well, does that signal that we're going to get more as we go along? Or will it revert back to what we saw in the beginning of the game?
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling him.
And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
To throw now on first down. Over the middle, complete. It's Bennett. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. 16 yards to the 16 and a first down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he rifles one incomplete. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Green 39. Green.
Looking to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And this is no good. Close, but he misses just left to the upright. And this score will stay right where it is. And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, and you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. I don't think anyone got a finger on it. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills? And it does it in so many different ways. In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty. Can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice game.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. 2 minutes remain here in the 1st half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this 1st half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Look at this spin.
Balance.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. Ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
Well, look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff?
Yeah.
Serve as your running play that way. as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. They find some open field here. It's a foot race. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Short throw, pick six right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Stephen Hauschka for the point after. And this is no good. Boy, that didn't even get there. Not a good effort at all. And our score remains the same. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35, but make it the 40-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. Back to throw here. And he comes back with one complete. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. The punter lock out there now as he sends it away. And this will be down just on the other side of midfield. Shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. He'll drop to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll make it second down.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And an alley to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes a timeout. And now we're set to get going. I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and this score will stay right where it is. So it's a second missed field goal here in this first half. He'll have to think about that going forward. Maybe time for a little soul-searching as well.
Yeah, the head coach might be looking towards the heavens because you wonder if this will affect the fourth down decision-making going forward. If you get 4th and 3, 4th and 4, situations that used to be calls for the kicker might get a second thought.
They'll run it with Johnson, and they're able to get this one across the 35. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. They'll look to throw here on first down. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top as we send you down to Orlando where we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Larry.
All right, Brandon, we'll see if I can get through this without being skipped as we welcome you to our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Eagles trail at home at halftime. The Falcons will want to come out after the half and really put the pressure on from the start. Here we go. Let's do this. Here's your first half highlights. 1st and 10. The pass ends up being picked off. Eagles defense happy to get off the field. After the pick, offense comes out now. The hurry throw would be picked off. Falcons will end up returning it for a touchdown. The Falcons up now by 9. Late in the second, Fleming's got the sack here. This ends up as a huge loss in yardage. Still late stages of the second. Bell's going to push his way to the QB here. This ends up as a huge loss in yardage. So that'll do it for us here in Orlando. For the call of the second half, let's hand it back over to Brandon and Charles. Brandon.
This will be taken very short. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. They'll set up a throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Bennett. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. Great changeup there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
In every game, teams are looking for that momentum shift, and that run there, the offense feels like, hey, maybe we can get something going, but defensively, they've slowed them down the entire game. They don't want to turn into more. They're going to try and figure out a way to take it back on this next play.
Johnson, and he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
In the red zone this time. Here's Johnson. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Crashing in from the end there, not to disrupt the pass game, but to disrupt the run game.
Yeah, I love the distinction, too, because the good defensive ends, they can do it all. Set the edge in the run game, make sure that no one can move it that way, and, of course, rush the passer. On that play, use his speed to get there in the run game.
And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
When we talk with people about what we think the most important quality for an NFL quarterback to possess, what do people usually say?
Arm strength, and he showed the arm strength there.
Yeah, pretty good bullet pass he threw, but he wasn't accurate, was he?
No.
Listen, you like mobility, but accuracy, first and foremost, is what a quarterback needs. He didn't possess it on that play.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be out of bounds all the way down at the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
So now it's 1st and goal. They'll go back to the ground with Johnson. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there. And it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
Here we go. Green 39. Green.
Ball spotted at the 4. It's 2nd and goal. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And this offense on 3rd down today, 5 out of 9 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
This is caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 11 yards, but still not enough. 4th down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing. And they got it done.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
When that ball was snapped, they were counting on it being now a one-possession game. Instead, the block occurs. That changes the whole mindset for them. And if you're the guys who just blocked it, You're floating off the field right now. Big-time play.
Yeah, big-time play. Could have been a one-score game. Instead, it stays 2 scores. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back. The Falcons on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
And he's going to be brought down back at his own 6-yard line. Here's Will Monday now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. Again, it's Johnson. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says try something different, try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This will be 3rd and 6.
Let's go. Green 39.
Now a handoff, Johnson. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
Here's Jeff Locke now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down.
Let's go. 3-19.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down.
Well, there's times when you see these catches that are made, and we just know the guys playing it are really wishing for college rules. Only need that one foot down instead of two. It's awfully difficult on the sideline, isn't it?
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down, but a tip of the cap on the spin move as that gives him a first down. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Now they'll run on the draw. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. They had a great read there from his free safety position. And, Charles, you know with those guys, it's all about their eyes. They have to be laser-focused.
Yeah, I had to fake my way through it when I was playing, but now I can see exactly what they're doing. And on that play, he obviously had no presence to feel like he's being pushed for a pass. And without that, that allowed him to get up to the line of scrimmage and hold him to no gain.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
The Falcons on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And to give this time to the tailback. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held them to no gain.
Here's Will Monday now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, as we are set to bring you the home stretch here, the 4th quarter. Here's Will Monday now, as he's on to punt for Atlanta. Oh, it's a wobbler here. Fielded just inside the 20. And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Screen play, Johnson. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. A good first down call as the screenplay gets him 9.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Just 1 yard to go here on second down. On the give, this is their fullback. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. The offense on third down tonight, they've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. They're looking at third and a few inches. They'll look to throw. Hard throw, incomplete.
I have to say that was a surprise call on 3rd and inches. I thought they'd try and run the football there, but you got to believe they thought they'd surprise the defense and pick up something downfield. But that one goes incomplete.
Here's Jeff Locke now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And this will be down by a member of the kicking team just outside of the 30-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And he'll give it here to his running back. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line. Second down to the offense in search of 6 yards. Now they'll run on the draw. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
They're going to look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Howard. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
They go play action here on first down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll be a second down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on second down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Oh, there's no doubt that this is a huge defensive series right here. They've got to hold them to a field goal attempt or less. Otherwise, this game just might be out of reach. Let's see if they can hunker down and get it done.
They'll drop to throw. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. And I know it seems like we say this a lot in broadcast booths, but a quarterback can hold on to the football too long in these situations. I think he did right there.
Oh, I agree with you totally. Sometimes you have to understand situations. Get rid of the football, save some yardage, to make it less to gain for the next down. Instead, he was so hipped on ball security, he held on to it and took a big sack.
The Falcons on third down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and 19. And again this time to the tailback. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Let's just go ahead and go back through that play with his eyes, because he's got to read his keys. Run or pass right off the top. You're probably going to read an offensive lineman to see if he sets up in pass protection, if he fires out for a running play. The next thing is you're going to check and see what the back's going to do. And if he ends up with the football, okay, now you got to check and see. Does an offensive lineman come downfield and try and block you? Are you going to try to elude it? Are you going to take him on and hold your spot? What are you going to do? In this case, didn't have to do any of that. Saw all of his keys, saw the play in front of him, and ran clean to the ball carrier and finished off the play.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. They'll set up to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. They're giving those short little routes. Tackled him in bounds, too. They're just not wanting to get beat over the top.
Yeah, and if you can't really get downfield, take the short routes. But now you got to have guys who can actually break tackles and increase those gains.
He'll look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column.
Let's go. 3-19.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get this down to about the 31-yard line. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. The Falcons on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This will be 3rd and 6. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. As they run the counter play. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And again this time to the tailback. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. And if you're the defense and those D tackles, you like that they're trying to run the football here against your 4-3, don't you?
Yeah, because they tend to eat things up because they are so strong and physical, and especially when they play with leverage where they get lower than the offensive linemen and control them. And what I love about the good defensive tackles, they can play over the guards, they can slide and play over the center. Nobody in the offense likes that day when they have to deal with those guys.
Give him 8 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, this from 34. And this is going to be no good. That was short. Not even on target either, but it was short. And this score will stay right where it is. So a bullet dodge there defensively. They surrender excellent field position on the kick return, but it winds up not costing them a thing.
And that's a tough sequence of events from an offensive perspective. The inability to get first downs leads to the field goal try. And the inability to cash that in leads to nothing on the scoreboard.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, two-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back, and then score again, but they can't worry about the...
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off near the 44, and they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
The Falcons in victory formation as they take a knee. And this will likely be the last play and wrap things up. The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada.